it's Dale here. Just starting out with 2023 and finding things, because finally getting time to do some of my own stuff. And I found back in 2021, I started making a snapshot a week, it was supposed to be. And so I did, I think I've done 15 between 2021 and 2022. So this year I'm going to finish so I'll end up with 52. And I thought I'd just run through and show them to you again so you can see what I've done. I can't remember if I've videoed these before. But this sort of places I've been or things I wanted to do. And this one was Tuscany, where we went a couple of times a long time ago. Just layering and stitching and trying different things and photographs. And then my second one was Broome, where everybody knows we like to go. So just some of the impressions of being in Broome and using layers, which is what I like to do. And the third one is way back to a long time ago, Okarito, where we went down on the South Island of west coast of New Zealand. A beautiful place to go. So like a bit of image transfer and silk fibres and bits and pieces. And then another trip we went to Marrakesh. And this was, using like the embellisher to weave, which I like to do, and putting together and stitching. And this was actually a paper napkin that I took a part out of, so you can use whatever is around that you find that relates to your theme, finding colours and textures and so on. And then this one here is from Paris, where the roses were quite expensive, so I simply took a photograph rather than bought a bunch. So that's a special memory for me. Then when we were in New York, just using some various things to print and collage and place stuff there to remind you of a break. And this is another little one from New Zealand, when my sister and I went on a little road trip up the Wanganui River. And this was actually in a letterbox where it said The Sisters, which was kind of appropriate for that day. Another trip, sounds like we're always tootling around, but we've been very lucky to go on places. This is in Provence, and I use the colours and things that relate to where I am, makes me, a sort of good reminders. And then going on to the next one, I'm still in 2020. No, I've moved on to, I'm still in 2021, and this is Foxton Beach, where the part of New Zealand where I come from, and it's the sea. It's from a photograph that I took. And it's a place I used to go to. We used to go all the time in the summer, every weekend. And then the very first trip that we made, when we went to, after we went to Alexandra Palace, we went to Istanbul, and where we stayed we could look out and see the Sophia, and so that's sort of some writings and layering of things that from there. So I just, every time I do something like this, I just try and think of ideas that I might have used to do this, because there's so many ways that you can write on fabric, write on paper, print, mark, make, etc., etc. And at some point you have to make a decision. This is from when we were in Venice many years ago. It's just an image of a one of the carvings there, and I've just done some burning back on that one. And then I still seem to be in 2021, and this was just a snapshot from the Grand Bazaar in Turkey, just reminding me of all the little coins that I collected there and the colours and so on. And that's some knitting. It's been embedded into my silk paper. And then another one, this is one of my favourite coasts anywhere. This is the Cavity Coast in just north of Wellington in New Zealand, and it's somewhere I like to stop and look out at Cavity Island every time I go. And that's where I got to in 2021. I managed to do 13, and then things went a bit belly up. And then in 2022 I thought I'd get finishing, and I actually only did 2 more. So this is my little summer one, and my last one for that for last year was all my life's a circle. So I love working with circles and things, and working with soluble fabrics and layering them, stitching them, putting fibres in and all that sort of thing. So that's where I'm at, and I am planning to do, must be something like 30 something to go to get to the end of the year, and that's my aim. But just as part of my finding stuff for the thing, I'm working on down here on my little book that I'm making, so that's going to be about 12 pages, and that'll be finished. Got bits there for that. And then I'm sort of making fabrics to stitch, and I've been printing out onto cotton organdy. It's really nice, natural fabrics and so on, and it's worked really well. And then now I'm just put a little tin of activities together for later on. So that's sort of a start of where I am, and I hope that you're getting into the creative mode for 2023. See you again, bye.